to have our Pledge of Allegiance by Kevin, but he's not here yet. Do I have a volunteer to do lead us in the pledge? Justin, can you do
I
it?
can do it or Flo volunteer.
Okay. Flo, that's great. And then we'll have a prayer from Brian. This is opening ceremony.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful for this day, for this opportunity to meet together as a city planning commission. We're grateful for many blessings we would give given as citizens, as members, as citizens of the city. Bless us that we'll be able to act and make decisions that will be beneficial to the city, that will be useful and helpful for members of the community. We're grateful for all the blessings we would give. We say this in the name of my son, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Okay, we will now have roll call by Darren.
Commissioner Brian Barrett.
Here.
Commissioner Clark Moss.
Here.
Commissioner Justin Wright.
Here.
Kevin's not here. Chairman Gary.
Here.
So this is on?
And Councilmember Phyllis Sack.
Here. Okay, thank you. Here goes now, we review and approve the planning commission minutes for August 22nd. I found a couple of errors in it. Just my name is spelled with one less L, it just needs another L. Further in the body, it's okay, but at the top, it just has one L instead of two.
I've got one as well. My name is also at the very end. It's Jason instead of Justin.
At the very end.
Yeah. Motion to adjourn.
All right.
Well, Jason, is that the?
It's all good. I've been called worse.
We'll have to go through those examples for us.
Yeah. We could do that.
Does anybody else have something they saw in the minutes?
I do. Okay, well, there was just one part that was confusing to me, and I think it's on the third page, third line. I wrote it down and now I didn't bring it with me. And it has a sentence that starts halfway in there that says, also the inherent risk as the risk of delayed. Anyway, it just didn't make sense to me, and maybe it's me, but does it make, if it makes sense to other people and it's what we want, then that's fine. But it just didn't make sense to me. It seemed like there were too many risks.
On page 2.
Page 3, third line down. Well, maybe it's page 2. I can see it right there at the bottom. Third line down, also the inherent risk.
One more. Down a little further.
Halfway through the third line down.
Where's
You'd find me on my knees. It's a great trail. So
It's one paragraph up from there. Where you're
I think that
top of that page.
the sun one had to do with the soil. It kind of sounds like it's building there. The inherent risk. As the risk of delayed sunrise. Fields, fail should be fields.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh, that would
that's
make
the
more
problem. It needs to be fields, not fells.
thank you. That would make more sense. Okay.
Okay, is that everything from everybody? Yes? Okay, great. Okay, at this time, we have time for public comments. Is there some, are you here to make a public?
Carrie, I think has approved those.
Sorry. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes for August 22nd, 2023? Do I have a motion to approve those?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from August 22nd, 2023.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Okay, the minutes have been approved. Okay, now moving on to public comments. Are you here for public comment or just to watch?
No, I'm running for city council, so I'm just coming to these meetings to try to get a feel for what happens and what goes on.
Okay, great, well, welcome. What's your name?
Mark Cottrell.
Okay, Mark, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a planning commission business. We have review, discuss, approve, deny amendment phase 1A of Brooklock Bridge. Darren, you have that?
Yeah, so, and I sent another updated page that went with this afternoon. And he has actually got that one right now. With this phase 1, it's an amendment to, the plat for phase 1A is amendment to the plat, phase 1. The rock lot, here you go, the next page. Has taken these lots, if you remember on, I don't know, you may remember, this used to be proposed to be a cul-de-sac that came right here. You know, Branson Court, Dale, there's a cul-de-sac right here. With all the geotech studies and everything that they're doing, they decided it wasn't feasible to turn those into lots. So what they wanted to do is come back and combine them lots with the ones that are already on phase 1 recorded. And so this amendment is bringing that back. The thing that's go along with this is there is still an easement through there for the power lines. And there's also easements for utilities that go through these lots. But that'll be the change. Along with this is this little sliver, which is on the next page. When I recorded phase 1, this little triangle right here wasn't finished with the annex that we had going on. So that property remained as county property. So when it was recorded, it wasn't recorded correctly.
So this is kind of like a boundary line adjustment.
Yeah, so what it is we annexed that big triangle there for phase 2. And a small portion of that triangle actually came down to phase 1 of the road. And we didn't catch it. And then the county didn't catch it till right after they recorded. And to order to fix that, we have to amend that portion. Now that the annexation's done, and bring that description up and put it on the plat so we can take it back down to the county and record it. And so that's the two things I want to bring to the council. Along with that, if you guys are good with these changes, when I take this to the council, there probably will be a public hearing. I'm trying to still figure out all that portion of the lot because that cul-de-sac that was going to the north there is a dedicated street on the first plat. And so it will actually have to be vacated as a street. And so I'm trying to understand 100% of the law. If we can do it without a public hearing, but everything I'm reading and understanding, we'll have a public hearing to vacate that portion. But as far as the land use, that has to come to the planning commission and be approved by the planning commission before I can go to the next step.
Can you go back to that and just kind of walk us through it a little bit in more detail?
Yeah, I probably should get a bunch more. This is phase 1 as it's recorded. Go ahead and pass it down. These are the lots right here that are now all the way down.
don't know.
Yeah, so these lots are the ones that they're taking off Mount and they're bringing them all down, and so this cul-de-sac disappears. There's 5 lots
Oh, okay.
that.
So they're gonna be on the opposite side of where they would have been essentially.
Yeah, so we've already, with the phase 1 approval, we did the backside of these lots. And it came in with the cul-de-sac and there were a couple things. These are the lots that would have been in the next phase. Geotechnically, they were having some really struggles with making those buildable lots. And so then they come back to the city and staff and ask if they could just join those lots together and make 5 big lots instead of the little ones that they couldn't build on.
Okay.
So there's,
What were the original lot numbers? Yeah, that's.
Looks like
they made that, they're
15R and 14R.
there's 5 of them down there that are changed in size.
And so they'll just kind of be expanded lots.
Yeah, they'll just be,
Instead of being kind of split like this, they will be one longer.
they'll be just a lot longer lot. They'll go back to.
It was gonna be
yeah,
two
go back to that conclusion.
Do we have anywhere like just the like, they showed us like the geotechnical color changes or whatever? Do we have something that?
So they still have the buildable area.
Okay.
So this cul-de-sac would be right through here.
Right through the middle.
And none of this would all be pushed down. It could be the buildable areas because this is all the restricted, all the field area that they had to do for the geo studies. And from my understanding and talking with them, it just was coming to the point, there was no way to make that a feasible project and have there. And instead of just having a cul-de-sac with nothing, they wanted just to take those lots, expand them down to the rest of the way through the subdivision and do that with the homeowners.
Okay.
Okay, the other road though, it comes around and I saw on there, that's phase 2 going out to a cul-de-sac that's further, I guess.
So
south.
this road actually would have came down, you come into this intersection and then split both ways.
And
So they just curved it over to just go into the one cul-de-sac now instead of both.
Yeah, the one cul-de-sac.
Yes,
further probably
To the south, yeah, to the south of that.
Okay. Does anybody else have some questions or concerns?
We had a discussion about the 600-foot cul-de-sacs last time.
This still falls into it, measurement wise, because it did with the split of 2 cul-de-sacs, it was still considered that full length.
Well, maybe my math is all wrong. The first lot, the top side, which is the shorter side, is 320 feet. We got 112 and then 100 and 100 before it gets to the cul-de-sac, which is over 600 there. I think it needs to go to the middle of the cul-de-sac. I don't know where that falls in this, but if you go to the other drawing.
The one that, when I passed out,
No, the one.
Are you talking this cul-de-sac doesn't make it?
This one.
Yeah. The south.
This one is to the south. Because now the lots are gonna come down to here and.
yeah,
over
it
there.
comes down to here, and it's still, this is still the same, that was approved. This whole thing is still the same, none of this changes. It's just the north.
This is getting mixed.
Because this is considered, I kind of had the same question, does that go against our ordinance? This whole thing was still measured the same way. And so it did fall within, requirement.
Well,
For that.
I mean, mathematically, it doesn't look like it does.
That, and I'll tell you right now, that was all before I did all the measurements and all that. And that one, it was approved that way, and we're just losing the other side of the part of the
So
cul-de-sac.
this is really aggressive, the other side.
Yeah, it's just, instead of 2 cul-de-sacs off one, well, it's still one cul-de-sac because they're both a dead end, and now it's just the one. So,
Remind me, and this is kind of going a little bit of a different direction. I remember we had talked about like a fenced off, non-accessible area somewhere along here. Is that still?
that is still part of their.
Will that now extend towards these new?
Yes, that'll all the
have the same restricted zone.
Yeah, all the
Okay.
same restrictions, all the setbacks, and that was part of the problem with the geo study, because they would have had to try to encroach,
Right.
and they couldn't encroach on it.
There wasn't enough building.
Yeah.
So will there be a fence in the?
Well, there are stakes that are going down through there, at each property corner, all the way down through there, saying at this point, you can't build, you can't disturb the ground, you can't.
They can still walk.
You can still walk on it and all that kind of stuff, it's just there's no irrigation,
No sheds,
no other stuff that can go into that area.
They can't do anything with it. Make sure there's no water. Okay, is there any other questions?
For me.
Anybody?
Okay. So tonight you want us to,
Approve this
approve it as it is,
as is,
okay?
and you can put as long as the city council, vacates the road, because if they don't vacate the road, then none of this can change.
What do you mean by vacate the road?
So the road going to the north, that cul-de-sac, has to be vacated.
That's all.
Haley, do I have that on there? I think I have that on page 1.
Like, they were.
All right, it's on a different attachment, yeah.
Yeah, we got the property description.
Right, and there should be, I think there's another one that is vacating. That was in my attachment, yeah. that's
Oh, yes,
vacating.
there is a line.
That's showing the vacation.
Yeah.
It would be on, it wouldn't be in that one I sent you tonight. That's the one I sent you before. Yeah, it's right there. It's just that takes.
Scroll down.
So, and if you scroll down,
Actually, I'm sorry, this was
that one in?
so I didn't go further down.
oh, you tried to read and understand all that?
You don't-
I understood it all.
You don't love reading meets and bounds? That's why I always talk to the civil engineer.
So it's this right here. This road was coming in and tying in right here. We're bringing it back up with to that point there. And so this, see, this was recorded in page 1, so they could have it at the back of the lots. That now has to be vacated. And I've learned a lot in the last 2 days of, that I never thought I'd learn on vacating properties.
You'll be a thrill at cocktail parties.
Oh, yeah, no. No, and I've read it like 8 times, and I'm just like, I am not sure I even got this right now. So,
So in our approval, do we need to say that? Like-
I would in our approval say we approve the changes, amendments to the plat, increasing the lot sizes in.
And vacating the road. We need to say
So
that.
that's all the city council on approval.
I
of
can
the-
take a shot at it.
On approval of the city council, and then we also need to make sure that little triangle, that we're tying that into that same motion, saying that's tied to it.
Kevin, our attorney. has-
Yeah.
Well, so wait, just to make sure, amendment to phase 1A is this whole thing, right?
It's that whole thing and that little sliver at the other end.
So I'll take a shot at this, shoot it down if it doesn't work. So I move to approve amendment to phase 1A as has been shown to us, contingent on the city council approving the vacating of Grandison Court.
And the triangle.
And we have to add the triangle.
I'm gonna say, not all of Grandison Court, the northern portion.
All right, let's strike that, strike it from the record. Let's vacate that from the record. All right, motion to approve amendment to phase 1A of Rockloft Ridge has been presented to us, including the triangle sliver we have talked about. This is contingent on the city council approving the vacation of a portion, the northern portion of Grandison Court.
Okay, I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
I would second that. Actually, makes a lot for us, officer.
Because it does.
Because then we're gonna have road on both sides.
Yeah.
Second motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion has been unanimously approved. Okay. there's no other?
That's our business for tonight.
I have a quick question, I apologize, I know everyone's like, this was gonna be a short meeting, and it still will. My question is, we had that couple come talk to us about external ADUs earlier in the year. I've been thinking a lot about that. Can we have our city attorney throw together like a draft of that sort of ordinance? I could take a shot at it. I think he would do a much better job. But I do think that will be something we can present to the state as moving our needle on, toward affordable housing. And I see them all the time since that, and I feel terrible that we haven't been able to move forward on that. So,
So,
in the law, says the way we have a work meeting is talk through some of the issues and hurdles that we need to get through to make that happen. I know that
Yes.
people would love to see that happen.
so right now, we're just finishing up 7A, and actually we'll have our public hearing for that on city council in 2 weeks.
What was that?
7A, which is safety and those kind of things.
Okay.
And then we're gonna begin 10. Well, 8 and 10, we're gonna go at the same time, which is all the zoning stuff. So we will be getting all the zoning and all that kind of process, which is planning commission's portion of that. So the attorney will be putting things together. I'll be bringing them in and have a lot of discussion on what we think we need to add, what we need to change, along with the council's direction on some of those hot topics. And with that, yes, all that is going to be starting to come. We're hoping we can have that all started and going through the end of the year, January, and have everything completed February, March of that subdivision ordinance. So
cool.
that is all coming, and then I think we'll have probably 2 or 3 planning commissions that we are really talking about that. The attorneys actually just started to work on that right now.
Oh, perfect. No, that's great.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. We will see you November 14th.
So that's a week earlier, 2 weeks later.
It's 2 weeks early.
It's the election got moved to the 21st. You guys are still on the 21st, but the election is on the 21st. Who seconded the closing meeting?
Brian, second.
Oh.
He's.
I second it. Brian is the who.
Brian moved. And then the motion to
No, you're good. That was the fastest meeting I've ever been to. Yeah, it's gonna be, so they're in the border right after ours.
Thank you for taking your
So I see-
Tuesday out.
Wow, we